I'm Faye. I run a company called Faye of the Forest, and I'm based in Tamworth, which is in the Midlands.
Mm.
And I empower wild women to step into their power and achieve their own unique vision of success. And I'm so passionate about this. It's something that I've gone on my own journey through the corporate world, having left that, having set up another business. And this is officially finally me stepping out there and stepping into my own power, and
Mm.
also embracing that title, that word witch, and actually saying yes, I am, and many of my clients and customers will be as well.
Mm.
So I'm super excited. It feels like I'm really starting to enjoy the journey and the people I'm journeying with, and really, it's lighting my life up. Do you know what I mean? It's a real
Yeah.
kind of transformation. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. My star sign is I'm actually on the cusp of
Oh,
Aquarius and Pisces. So
oh, very
yeah,
spiritual. I'm
so
Aquarius.
sometimes I go one way or the other.
Interesting. When's your birthday then?
It's the 19th of February.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Wow.
It's funny, like I definitely feel I was born at the right time and I was born into the right name. Everybody
Yeah,
says
yeah, yeah.
it's Faye of the Forest, and I'm like,
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
that's just me. That's
Yeah,
my name.
that's what drew me in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Are you a mummy?
I am, yes. I have
I mean,
two beautiful kids. I have a boy that's 7 and a daughter, a girl that is 3. So yeah.
wow, busy.
Yeah, it's been one
Mm.
of those things that, I think
Mm.
with motherhood, you don't know what you're going to be like as a mother until it happens. And
Yeah,
they say that you transform every 7 years, don't they?
yeah,
And actually, my son coming up to 7, in August, it was almost like boom, suddenly he's transformed again. I've transformed again.
yeah.
And there was a lot of energy around that time actually for me.
Mm.
And really I was kind of pushing away from hearing some things the universe was telling me, and it was like
Wow.
being rammed down my throat, and I was like, okay, I can't escape some of these things.
Yeah,
So I think that,
interesting.
yeah, the 7 year thing, it is a real thing. So, but
Mm.
yeah, they transformed me, and they kind of helped me come away from the corporate world and realize my passion, and yeah, develop that further. So yeah,
Wow.
they do that to you, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. It's amazing. So with the word witch wound,
Yes.
there's so much to ask you because obviously you're a witch as well, and we've got the corporate stuff to talk about too, and
Yeah.
motherhood. How have you, I mean, are you comfortable sharing your personal experiences with a witch wound for yourself? Like, when did
Yeah.
you first, have this and yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
think the witch wound, that phrase in itself, is not even something I was really aware of until, the last kind of year, really. But I think it definitely is a wound. I mean, I see it impacting a lot of people I work with,
Yeah.
um, but also, yeah, myself. And I can see that looking back now, that I'm really passionate about business because it empowers you to be you and to earn money doing what you were put on this earth to do, fulfill your
Yeah.
calling. um so that's why I went and did that degree and all that, but I then got sucked into the corporate world. And yeah, if you're a little bit different, you a bit quirky, or you think outside the box. In my case, and a lot of people I work with, again, neurodiverse, as well. You feel like you don't kind of fit in, and that, like, it really just really affects your soul. It totally affects your energy. And I just felt that I was never able to really truly kind of talk about things, or portray my feelings, um, because there's that side of the witch that is feared, and
Yeah.
then there's that side of the witch that is laughed at as well.
Yeah.
And I'm not too sure which one's the worst.
Yeah.
um,
They're
you
both
know
pretty hurtful.
yeah, absolutely. They are. And I'm sure you've experienced that
Mm.
a lot as well.
Yeah.
And so it's nice when you do, step into your power and find that community of like-minded
Yeah.
people that also get that as well. And
Yeah.
you can
What
say,
was your job when you said corporate? What were you
yeah,
doing? And were
yeah,
you
so
working mainly with men and women, or
yeah,
is
yeah.
that a difference?
Yeah,
Mm.
mostly men. I was
Yeah.
actually a senior buyer for just under 10 years in the automotive industry.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, yeah, early starts. It was, yeah, a lot of effing and jeffing, as I like to
Yeah,
say.
gosh.
And it was something that really kind of showed me, yes, I love business, but not that kind of business, not
Really.
detached business,
Yeah.
where people are just numbers. And it's when I started, I worked on a couple of high profile, multi-million pound contracts. And I was very aware that the people, my counterparts, whenever I would see them, they were shaking, like their fingers were shaking. And I was just like, this is not acceptable for humans to be made to feel like that.
Mm.
And
Stress.
I just felt like we lost the human side of it, that connection. And I started to talk with them more and understood, their personal stories, and actually, realized that there's a person behind that.
Yeah.
And that's when I started questioning a lot of why I was there, and kind of like the true meaning of business, and why I was doing what I was doing. But you can't just kind of switch things off. Oh, right, well, I'll quit that and I'll do this, especially when you're the one that's paying the bills.
Yeah.
Um, so nothing kind of was coming to me really. And then when I did have my son, that was very much the catalyst for
Well, he woke
feeling,
you up. That's
yeah,
massive.
absolutely, feeling that, I'm showing I do believe that we show our children, we show them, don't we? We show
Yeah.
them how to live.
Mirroring all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. We show
Yeah.
them what healthy relationships should look like, what
Yeah.
respect for nature looks like, what
Mm.
respect for ourselves looks like. And so, it's hard to do that if you're coming home miserable, crying, or not even seeing them and putting them to bed. So yeah, that was very much the wake up point for me to realize that yes, I do love business, but not that kind of detached business, and one that doesn't really want to see me for me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the only one that would go out at lunchtime and I would sit in nature, and read a book. And I would always have, Halloween off, you know what I mean? And it was a big celebration, and it was like, why? Are you just going to trick or treat? And it's like, no, no, there's more to this for me, and there's other celebrations and festivals, and that's what we've been doing. And I think towards the end, I did start to say more. Actually, we've been doing this because I'd already started to kind of check out,
Yeah.
and start to think, no, actually, yeah, be me. I always say it's quite funny, isn't it? Because when I was, 12, 13, I obviously, discovered the passion for witchcraft. Um, and I got the books and all of this and that. And I found some of them quite recently. And it's almost like it's been a weird long journey back to my 12-year-old self. And you think, oh my God,
Gone
I
into
was
the
right.
muggle world and then you've come back.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to step
Yeah.
out. I think that that's part of the journey, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. You
Yeah.
realize, and then you see, and then you find yourself again, and that version of yourself. The whole of our life is just a journey, really,
Yeah.
and it's just learning day upon day more of who you are and your place within the world and how you can impact it. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
starting to embrace that, which is good.
Well done. Well done. I
Thank
mean,
you.
the fact of like being seen of how
Mm.
you really are, when did you sort of step into that power?
Yeah.
Or because obviously you started up your own business. So when
Yeah.
you started up your own business, did you like step fully into it like this is what I'm going to do and I'm very confident and I'm just going to share? Or were you
No.
scared or did you have conflict? Tell us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the business that I started when I had my son is called Nature Makers, and it's a franchised company now across the UK, and I'm so proud of it.
Mm.
But you're absolutely right. When I started it, I very much started it with my business head and what are the values and what's this and what's the business going to look like and how we're going to grow it, and that was all great. Um, but it was the business, and it wasn't necessarily me who I was projecting myself, and I felt at times that there was a mask. In
Really?
some respect, it's a vegan company, and I was not vegan myself, but there was reasons for that.
Yeah.
To be inclusive and
Mm.
welcoming space for everyone. And we've got the nature connection within that business. That's what we do. We teach nature, arts, craft, and play, which is fantastic. And there is a seasonality with that. We have a curriculum that's very seasonal. And I have always put in things like the autumn equinox and the summer solstice. And those are things that I specifically call out and say, we
Yeah.
will do a class around that. But I then leave it up to them how they want to do it, my team, and we want it to be inclusive and welcoming, and for it to be a joyful experience, and maybe educating about the science of it, and just actually connecting to nature. So it was almost like a toe in the water,
Yeah.
putting a bit out there,
Yeah.
but I'm very aware that not all of my team and not all of the people coming are going to be pagan or witches. Um, so it may be a bit alien to them.
Yeah.
So quite interestingly, I have actually started to have people join the team that are pagan and are witches, which is
That's
amazing.
lovely.
It's
Yeah.
nice for me to get an email from them and they say, "Oh, happy, this. I
Yeah.
hope you've had a great time," and vice versa. And equally, I would say because of that, when I looked at my other business, the one that I'm developing now, Faye the Forest, that's when I journeyed with that and sat with it,
How did
and
that come up? Did you just get like a download, you go, I'm going to do this, or did you feel a resistance? Or because I
yeah,
mean, like, although you like created and birthed this business, this
yeah,
franchise, there was still this underlying thing, well,
yeah,
there's something else, there's something missing.
yeah,
The
yeah,
itch. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. You're
Oh,
100% right there. So I kind of thought, well, I want to help people. I want to heal the world. So I something came to me, and it was something to train in wilderness therapy. And I never do this. I never do this. But I said to my husband, I do not know why I need to do it, but I need to do it. And he was like, a really clear message. I need to do it. And my husband's so supportive. And so I went through it. I did the qualification and the journey over the year, the coursework and all of that. And I came out, and in theory, I was going to be a wilderness therapeutic practitioner. And it just didn't sit right. And I was like, I love the training. I love what I've gone
yeah.
on internally. It
Yeah.
was more therapeutic for me, I
Yeah.
think. Um, so I worked through that. But then I went, it's I still want to heal the world. I still want to help the world, but I don't think it's in that way. I don't think it's therapeutically. I actually think it's more combining it with the business way,
Yeah.
and actually merging those two kind of paths that I have. The
That's so
the the
beautiful.
the very, the business, the strategy, like I say, that's my degree. But actually with the kind of the gentler, holistic, therapeutic and spiritual kind of realm of like nature, and actually kind of
Yeah.
combining the two together. And I had to kind of go on that journey, and I kind of created a bit of a mini retreat for myself, just a bit of silence and in nature, and had somebody help me as well to go, yeah, I can do this. I need to actually rip that bandage off and put this
Yeah.
out to the world. And kind of at that time, and it was about a year ago now, at that time, I hadn't got a full offering or anything, but it felt like I just needed to tell the world, actually, this is what it is now. This is who I am. I kept the name still made sense. And again, it's been a journey of kind of really finding myself, but it feels
Mm.
so, like I said, in August, I had, the universe trying to tell me things, and I feel like it was telling me, yeah, you're absolutely
Right
on the right
time.
path here. Yeah,
Yeah. But I
yeah,
think you're a great example of stepping into your purpose because obviously
thank you.
everything you've done, prior to that has fired you up and you're not
Yeah,
wasting your skills. It just doesn't serve you anymore. So what's
yeah,
lovely is you've taken everything that you've previously learned and brought it into something that you really love, and that's what you're here to
yeah,
do. So of
yeah,
course the
absolutely.
universe is going to go, here you go. It's going to open doors for you.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
really good
absolutely.
example.
I think it's
Did you
about.
feel scared of like saying, "Oh, this is my business," or that did your friends or family say, "Oh, you need to have a proper job," or
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why I originally went down the corporate route.
yeah,
That's what you do, isn't it? You get a 9 to 5.
recognized?
Yeah, and so I think that's it. But having said that, my family, they've known who I am for so long, and I sometimes think my brothers, and my husband knew me better than I knew me at times. So when I did say I was creating this business, it wasn't just walk away from one thing and jump into another. I'd been developing it. And then at that time, and I think that time was later than it should have been, I
Yeah.
finally decided to quit the corporate job and go all in on business.
Which
Like I
takes a
say,
lot of courage. That takes a lot of courage.
yeah, oh gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. To do anything like that, really,
Yeah.
there's that fear of it. Ironically, there's a fear of failure. But with the witch wound, sometimes there's also a fear of success.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Am I
well,
going to be able to cope with it? Am I going to,
yeah,
smile and be a mum and,
yeah,
stuff? Am
absolutely.
I going to fail on being a mum or because I'm too busy doing this? It's all this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And actually, what does success look like? Does it look like,
Yeah.
you know, um,
Yeah.
so we journey with that, and I journey with that internally. Like, you don't want to aim towards success if success is actually a very alien concept, or it involves, you know, people in suits destroying the planet. Why would you aim towards that? So it's got to be a very personal vision, and you've got to be comfortable with that vision, and that actually, yes, that will also involve extra visibility, you know on social media and just in the world. Get having a
Yeah.
business now, you have to be visible. And I think part of the transition from my first company, Nature Makers, which is still going and I'm still leading, to Faye the Forest, was me being visible as me saying,
Hard.
yeah, I am this person, and actually, yeah, I am a witch as well, and that's okay if you don't get it. It's like, I feel that most of my clients do get it. They are witches, or they respect that, you
Yeah.
know? And I
Yeah.
think that's just so important for everybody to kind of understand. We all have different views,
Yeah.
and beliefs, but
Yeah.
actually, there's a respect. We're not going to laugh at each other or fear, and if we don't understand, we'll say, oh, what's that about? Can you tell me? So I found, since actually, you know, stepping into Faye the Forest and that power, and presenting my authentic self more, that literally, like I say, the energy has just been like overwhelming. It's like,
Were you like
wow.
sweaty before, or did you just go, right? How did
What, sorry?
were you like sweaty hands before, or did you just go for it?
Yeah, I guess when I initially kind of just told the world, I was like,
Mm.
oh yeah, okay, I've just got to do it. I'm going to put it out there. It's funny, isn't it? You can put so much pressure on just like one social media post. Like,
But no one actually gives a crap,
no.
really. They're like everything you're stressed about or you're worrying, you post it and you sort of go,
Oh,
it's like one of
exactly.
your best posts. Like no one's really that bothered. It's like
No,
it's
exactly.
fine.
But for
Mm.
yourself, you need to say that, what I mean? You're like, actually, I don't care if nobody watches this or sees it,
Yeah,
but I need to say that. And that was, like I say, kind of then the snowball, and getting feedback from people, and reading the signs, and just feeling comfortable in myself, and having other people come and say, I really relate to that. And thank you for helping me in this. And, the way I help people, holistic practitioners and healers, I feel like, wow, that's massive ripple effect, across the world, really.
Yeah.
So that kind of sends tingles up my spine, realizing that power, and that you can have to actually impact the world for the better.
Yeah.
I felt like I was very comfortable with saying, "Oh, what's your calling? What's your calling?" to my clients, but never really saying that this is my calling. This was my business.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to say, yeah, I
Yeah.
think this is my calling,
Good
actually.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's so wonderful that you're actually aware of how the world is communicating with you, of all the signs and
yeah,
all the opportunities and situations that just sort of open the doors. It's
yeah,
lovely.
absolutely. Yeah.
With the women that you work with, are you seeing the witch wound constantly or?
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily something that they would identify, oh, it's because of the witch wound. But there's things, fear of visibility. Sometimes people are like, no, I'm not I don't have a fear of being visible. I'm on social media. And then when we look at, say, all of their vast array of qualifications and services, there's maybe one that they never talk about. And I'm like, why don't you ever talk about that? And they're like, because it's a bit out there. And I
Yeah.
don't think that group will get that. And then we start talking, well, who
Yeah.
is your ideal client? Is it that group or is it that? And then we realize that it's that they've got the passion in, and it's that they need to
Yeah,
be
that's sad.
talking about more. But there was that fear because of judgment, an exile kind of persecution.
Mhm.
What's going to come out from actually saying about this out there,
Yeah.
kind of service that they do, a different type of healing.
Mm.
And again, it's almost like sometimes, uh, giving yourself the permission and understanding and stepping into that power, and you put it out there and you're like, that felt really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that again. What was I so
Yeah.
worried
What am
about?
I so scared about? We have to like
Yeah.
face it to actually make our own evidence that actually that wasn't that bad, so I can do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
Mm.
we need to kind of build small steps into it and see that that wasn't so bad. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do the next level. And,
Yeah.
journaling about that and noticing that actually, your own intuition was right with these things. Because very much, as witches and as females as well, we're kind of taught not to trust our intuition, I'm all for facts and figures, absolutely. But if something doesn't feel right,
Yeah.
it's not right.
Yeah.
You've got to
Yeah.
just trust your gut.
That should be taught in schools, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, especially like I say, especially for women, because
Mm.
and connecting with the cycles and the seasons. And yeah, sometimes there is that feeling of, whoa, what's going on? And a losing of control. But actually, when you tap back into that intuition and you realize, yeah, actually, there's that phrase, I am exactly where I need to be. I'm exactly where I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be right now. And sometimes what happens doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
good.
But that's
But
part of growth, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I
It's
think we're
that
in a
journey.
system that's programmed us to be like, whenever we feel that, it's much safer to step back,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
everybody else is doing.
yeah,
Really, we should be jumping straight into that fear with the sweaty palms and just going, okay, we'll just try.
yeah.
It always works out better,
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
it?
Yeah, that's where the
Mm.
learning and the journey, the growth comes from,
Yeah.
really. And
Yeah.
and stepping forward, I think, yeah, there's that, it is a path. It's not always going to be straight and it's not always going to be easy, but you've always got to be putting one foot in front of the other. And whatever comes in front of you, you just got to work through it. Um, and I do see, some amazing people that are doing that and they're confronting their fears. I say,
Yeah.
they're walking into the fire and they're walking out the other side, and they are a phoenix. They are a
Yeah.
transformed person.
Yeah. But
you
they've
know?
got to want to do it themselves, haven't
Oh,
they? Because
absolutely.
I have a few people that I've worked with where they're like, okay, I will face my fear, I will be
Yeah.
seen. But then when they do like something on social media and they're talking or even as a
Yeah.
photograph, they're still not authentic. They're still trying to
Yeah.
mirror to someone else or be like their
Yeah.
friend or a celebrity. They're still not authentic. So
Yeah, absolutely.
it's not gonna help. It's
No.
they
And I
have to
think
be
that's,
completely authentic and just go, right, that's me. Waltz
yeah,
on, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think it's so easy with, especially, on social media and things to kind of put people on a pedestal and then to feel like as you're defining your own vision of success, that it needs to in some way mirror their version of
Yeah.
success.
Yeah. But
But
everyone's success is completely different, isn't it?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you end up with burnout. I got sucked down that path to some extent
Yeah.
when I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna, scale up my business and I'm gonna work to, this pace and brilliant. And yeah, it really can drain your energy. And then you step back and you go, why on earth am I doing that? Or or
Yeah.
aiming for
Oh,
that.
okay, I'm feeling a bit tired, so I know I need to give myself some kind of self-care sanctuary in my home or set boundaries or clear some diary or, it's
Yeah,
all about that,
exactly.
isn't it, really?
Yeah, and I think, boundary setting that can be
Yeah.
difficult as well with the witch wound,
Yeah.
but such a
Yeah.
powerful thing. And I don't know about you, Emma, but don't you find it's easier to tell people to set boundaries?
Oh, yeah, yeah, then when you go, yeah.
Yourself, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's so
But
hard.
then when you're teaching that and you know that's your truth, the universe is quite tough on you because
Yeah,
it's almost like you can't even speak it or try and get out of it. You have to. It's like
yeah,
it forces you.
yeah, exactly. Things
But
find a
or
way,
you
don't
feel knackered. Like if you don't, then you're gonna have a
they?
period and you just think, oh,
Yeah,
I'm feeling really tired and drained. I should have
yeah.
set some
Well,
boundaries. I should have said no.
yeah, this is the thing. I find that, with my business world kind of, hat on, when I was taught business degree, I was taught that, there's an opportunity cost of money. That's the most important thing, how you allocate your money. And then I started kind of changing the narrative to actually opportunity cost of time, how you allocate your time. But now I'm like, the most important thing is your energy. How do you
Yeah.
allocate your
All about
energy?
energy.
And actually, if you're growing a business, um, grow it to your long-term vision of success, but only if it's not going to be detrimental to your energy. And if it is, it's
Exactly.
not the right one. We need to find a different solution. We need to find a solution where you are able to be your authentic self. It feels good, and you're not sacrificing your time and your energy for money,
Yeah.
because that will result in burnout, and
Yeah.
that spiral. So
Yeah. It's not all about money. Money is important. We
yeah,
need money. It makes us feel good. It
yeah,
gives us freedom.
of course.
I mean, success for me is actually having time off.
Yeah,
Being able to go, okay, I'm gonna not do this. I'm gonna actually go away or have some time at home or that's
yeah.
success, peace.
Yeah, absolutely. You're
Yeah.
right. Just peace.
Just
Yeah.
peace. Yeah. But you feel safe.
Do you think is that something that you've always had, Emma? Or is it something that
No,
you,
this is something I've worked. I've
yeah,
come from a very massive
yeah,
money wound. My parents weren't really
right,
safe. They were like
right.
failed gangsters. So my,
Really? Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
So it's been a long time. And
Yeah,
probably only the last couple of years have I really anchored into that because,
really.
yeah, because I think you get to a stage when you get to like nearly 50, you're like, I need to sort this out because this is
Yeah.
one thing that's like, the last part of my puzzle that is messing up.
Yes.
You can't be scared of money. If
Mm.
you can be scared of having money, you can be scared of not having money. You can, it's like constant.
Yeah, that's the irony, isn't it? And
Yeah.
it's going to be so different for everyone. Everybody has
Yeah.
a money story. Um,
Yeah. I mean, some
and
people I work with, their success is to get the Gucci handbag or go to a certain holiday, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine if that makes you
yeah,
feel like you've made it. But
yeah,
there's also a point in your life where you think, actually, life can't get any better than this.
yeah,
I'm at peace. I'm
yeah,
really
absolutely.
happy. And it's nothing to do with money.
Yeah, and I think kind of having that
Mm.
that grounding within kind of witchcraft and that connection to nature
Yeah.
and your place within it and, gratitude. I think
Yeah.
we naturally kind of build, ritual into our
Yeah.
routines. And I
Yeah.
think that does help, reconnect you with some of these things. But it's easy to kind of, lose yourself and get sucked into different, different
Yeah.
society pressures or things like that. And then if you
Yeah.
can bring it back and just have moments of stillness, moments of peace, then you can hear what's being, what the universe is trying to say to
Yeah.
you. Sometimes
Yeah.
I think I'm not doing anything special when I'm working one to one with somebody or within a group. I'm just facilitating, that place
Yeah.
of peace for them to actually just with clarity think
Yeah.
about what is it that they want to do. And it's amazing really that, and other people that facilitates women's circles and things like that absolutely know the transformation from people just having time and
100%.
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Part of it is what we need as a women to hold
Yeah.
space for us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's powerful work.
So how do you feel that, people watching this, if they're struggling with a witch wound, how do you feel that people can start healing the witch wound? What do they, in your
Yeah.
experience, how have you helped other people?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of journaling and, kind of meditating on something and sitting with it and then seeing, it doesn't have to be whole sentences. It could just be words. It could be pictures that come up from that to actually identify how the witch wound is impacting them currently, how they relate to that. Is it stopping them from being visible? Do they have a fear of success? So they're self-sabotaging things. Are they
Yeah.
choosing not to do opportunities because they're fearful of them and of being seen and the consequences of
Mm.
that?
And
Do
it is the
they?
fear of other women. That's the one
Oh,
thing
yeah,
people don't want to admit to, but it is. It's not just, to the world. It's the
yeah,
fear of like your friends, your
yeah,
family. That is
yeah,
really
absolutely.
gonna hurt, if like
Yeah,
your mother-in-law turned on you, your sister-in-law, or, something like that. That's gonna
yeah,
really wound you.
yeah,
So we
definitely.
talk
And I
about
think
it. Mm.
Yeah, and I think having a close community, or even, online,
Yeah.
and people like yourself are creating those safe spaces, where people do feel that they can be free to comment and to say something that,
Yeah.
is their authentic self. And you realize that, yeah, actually, there are other people out there that do share this wound, and that collectively we are rising, we are healing ourselves and healing the world. Um, and so I think, like I say, journaling, being aware of how it's showing up within their lives, um, and their business, and then actually putting things into place to slowly become more visible around some of those different areas, the areas they've acknowledged, oh, maybe I do want to tell the world about that, but I haven't. Maybe if I set myself that goal, to do that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, putting boundaries in place and things like that. But it's all slowly,
Yeah.
without going too much
Yeah.
all in
Yeah.
and then feeling too overwhelmed or your energy's drained, or, and then backing out. So it's understanding, for instance, the witch wound now, and then in a year's time, having transitioned a little bit further of your healing journey with that witch wound. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
for a lot of people it is just an ongoing,
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah, definitely. It depends on how much you've had, from school and being
Yeah,
picked on or things like that, or
yeah,
challenges at work and
yeah,
stuff. But and also it's not just, sharing on social media. Sometimes I
yeah.
think some women even like hold back from their husbands. I have a lot of
Oh, yeah,
people that are very closeted. And I go, I
yeah,
really wish I could come out and say to my
yeah,
husband I'm a witch, but I do it all privately when he's at work. And I'm like, oh my God,
yeah,
such a shame. That
yeah.
breaks
And
my
it's
heart
so,
because I'm like, that's the one person that you
yeah,
should be open and feel safe with.
yeah, absolutely. I think I'm
Mm,
very lucky from that perspective. I think I've always been very kind of, apart from in that work environment where I was, that corporate world where I was aware it was like, don't rock the boat if you want to
yeah,
get up there. Don't say anything too weird. Um,
yeah,
my family and friends, they've always known who I am. I've always been that feminist. I've always been, the witch and the one in nature. And, I sometimes think it's strange that there is still sometimes that fear, but it makes me feel like, when people then realize after knowing me for 5, 10 years that I am a witch, I've always been a witch, but
Yeah.
I
You're like,
haven't,
oh yeah, actually, yeah.
yeah, I haven't turned
Yeah.
them into a frog yet. Then it's okay. Just because you
Yeah.
find out something about someone,
Yeah.
doesn't change who they are and your relationship with them. And I think that's a way for us to help heal this wound as well, just by being more authentic, each one of us,
Yeah.
collectively supporting and kind of collectively challenging that norm, sorry, that view that people
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
of what a witch looks like or what a witch
Yeah.
is. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. I mean, do you feel empowered when you say, when someone says, "Oh, what do you do?" and you say, "I'm a witch"? Do you feel like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah, this is what I
yeah. I
do?
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's the thing. I
Mm.
think still there's always going to be that I was talking with some people as well about, what do you tell people you do? And it's like, yeah, sometimes people just don't get it because they're so far removed from it. They don't get if you have your own business.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think you need to kind of, go into all the details with everyone. I think there's that kind of sliding scale of who is this person? How much interaction am I going to have with them? How much am I happy to share with them? And that's going to look different for everyone really. But yeah, saying, being more authentic and saying, well, I am a witch. Yeah, that feels good. It feels good within my body. And like I say, since kind of doing this, I feel like I can see within the universe, it's saying, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
this is
coming home,
right.
Faye. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. And also, like on social media, it's so easy now. We're in this period of time where anyone can be hateful and
Yeah.
criticize how women look, how they are, how they speak, how they interact, or
Yeah.
if they have a certain amount of followers and they'll like crash them down. It's just a lot of
Yeah.
hate. So like
Yeah.
easily and free to write this, where, when I was a teenager, that would never have come up.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
social
like they can
media.
just go, "Oh, you're fat, you're old, you're," like to
Yeah.
people like Kate Winslet, and you think,
I know.
beautiful. She's, how
Yeah.
could and I find that quite shocking, where
Yeah.
I think, and it is women. These aren't really
Yeah.
necessarily as many men saying these to women. These are other women, and you think,
Yeah.
where's this sisterhood?
Yeah.
That's so
Absolutely.
important right now that we
Yeah.
should be celebrating. Doesn't matter if people look a certain way or fat or thin or old or young or Botox or not, we're all the same, really.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it is, you're
Mm.
right. There are the people, the trolls, online that say these
Yeah.
things. I think, do they do it because they have no power? They feel that they have no power and they're trying to claim some power for themselves. That doesn't make it right. But I
No.
think it's wonderful that there is a sisterhood, and that social media is helping connect that sisterhood,
Yeah.
across the globe, really.
Yeah.
Um, Whether they, identify themselves as witches or not, that actually we've got shared values as well, and healing the world and being more authentic in ourselves, and that is definitely shared by a lot of women. So yes,
That's the
the trolls
mission.
are out there. I'm sure they will always be out there. But hopefully there are more witches and fairies in this world.
Oh, that's beautiful, Faye. Make a nicer world, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm hoping so for my daughter and son.
Oh, that is so beautiful. So beautiful. So where can people find you? What's going on? Have you got anything to share or
Yeah.
excited about?
Yeah, so at the moment, I tend to work one-to-one mentorship with people, and I will also be doing some group programs online, and then also in person, around a campfire. We
Oh,
will, yeah, connect with nature, use Wilderness Mirror, and yeah, really get to, understand our mindset, believe we can actually achieve the success that we want for ourselves, and actually plan our strategy around that. So yeah, lots coming, lots going on. It's
the
Faye of
best
the
to find
Forest.
you at Instagram, Faye
Yes,
Forest.
yeah, if they go
Yeah.
to fayeoftheforest.co.uk, it's got all of my links there, and guides as well. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much
Oh,
for
thank
being
you.
inspiring and sharing your story. I
Thank you
really
so
loved
much for
that.
having me.
Thank you, my
Yeah.
witchy sister.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. I've had
Thank you
a lovely
for
time.